Yes, students, let us discuss Coulson's hybridized MO diagram for carbon monoxide. It is just a theoretical approach. Considering sp hybridization in carbon and oxygen, Coulson has explained what he considered 2s orbital and 2p orbitals of carbon as well as for oxygen they will hybridize to produce two sp orbitals. One sp orbital will be along the bond, will be forming sigma bond, and other sp orbital out of the atom. Sp orbital means 180 degrees separation. So if I consider carbon here, one of the sp orbital will be inside and other sp orbital outside. Oxygen, sp orbital inside towards carbon and other will be what? Outside. The orbitals which are inside, they are going to form sigma bond. So each orbital should be with one unpaired electron. So with the help of valence bond theory, he is going to explain this molecular orbital theory. Let us have little visualization by this information. First information provided here is about point group. And point group of this molecule, CO molecule, is C infinity V. The purpose to represent here point group is we will understand various operations possible, and that will help us to decide the suitability of the orbitals to form various molecular orbitals or to know whether interaction among them possible or not. So clear cut idea about the symmetry we can have. C infinity point group, C infinity V point group signifies there is a no horizontal plane, there is a no center of inversion, but there is a principal axis C infinity, vertical planes are there. It means 2s orbital and bonding axis orbital, say to px orbital, they have the same symmetry. That is the only purpose to inform about the point group. Electronic configuration point you will easily understand. I like to bring your attention towards energy levels. Four energy levels are represented there. Out of those four various orbitals, our lowest possible orbital, lowest energy orbital is 2s orbital of oxygen, and its energy is minus 32.3 electron volt. Afterwards, next higher energy orbital is a 2s orbital of carbon. Its energy is minus 19.4 electron volt. Next higher energy orbital is of oxygen. Oxygen 2p orbital is of energy minus 15.8 electron volt. And last highest energy orbital is of carbon, carbon 2p orbital. Its energy is minus 10.6 electron volt. But if you read the upside portion in small font, it is mentioned ionization energy for carbon monoxide is 14 electron volt. What does it mean? Outermost electron, last electron in carbon monoxide molecule should be above the 2p orbital of oxygen but below the 2p orbital of carbon. I hope you are getting the sense of the ionization energy. Okay, the concept will be more clear by further explanation. By the way, I like to bring your attention to bond length. Bond length of carbon monoxide is 112.8 picometer, while monopositive carbon monoxide, ionized carbon monoxide is 111.5. So after ionization, bond length is decreasing. Let us see whatever our model is there, hybridized model is there, suggested by Coulson, explains these things or not. But in conclusion, mixing is allowed. And due to mixing, hybridization is considered. Hybridization is the advanced state of the mixing. In hybridization, rearrangements are possible. Energy can be made available from other sources. After all, stability to the molecule is important. After all, suitable bond formation is important. So let us see what is that hybridization concept with molecular orbital diagram. Let us divide this diagram in three compartments. Left compartment, atomic orbitals of carbon, considering sp hybridization. Middle compartment, molecular orbitals of molecule carbon monoxide. And right compartment, atomic orbitals of oxygen. Of course, sp hybridization is considered there. Let me talk about more electronegative atom, that's oxygen. Just see, the energy of 2s orbital of oxygen is lower than 2s orbital of carbon. Similarly, energy for 2p orbital of oxygen is lower than the 2p orbital of carbon. It is due to high electronegativity of oxygen. Now come to the oxygen atom. Its orbitals will undergo sp hybridization. So for that we need two orbitals. One will be the s orbital and other is the p orbital. Here 2s orbital is chosen for hybridization, and among the 2p orbitals 2px, 2py and 2pz, bonding axis orbital. And what is our bonding axis? X axis is our bonding axis. So 2px orbital from 2p orbitals and 2s orbital will undergo hybridization. Hybridization means the concept remains with us, energy should be same. No, student. It depends upon interaction. You will find there two sp orbitals towards oxygen. By red color labeling, I have shown spa orbital, and by blue color labeling, I have shown spb orbital. Here spa orbital has more s character, therefore it is near to 2s, and spb orbital has more p character, therefore it is near to 2p orbital. But I said hybridization is different than the mixing, but mixing is necessary for the hybridization. Here from 2s orbital to electron and from 2p orbital, the orbital which has unpaired electron will be considered there, and that we are considering as a px orbital, because what we want bond formation. Then why only that spb orbital is chosen for bond formation? Why not spa? Actually, energetics of carbon also important. That spb orbital is a suitable orbital to form sigma bond with one of the sp orbital of the carbon. Therefore, unpaired electron will be in spb orbital, and two electrons, let us consider from 2s orbital, are in spa orbital. So out of 6 electrons present in oxygen in 2s and 2p orbitals, I consider here 3 electrons. Lone pair in spa orbital of the oxygen and unpaired electron in spb orbital of the oxygen. Remaining electrons are in pi orbitals, 2py and 2pz. Out of 6, 3 already I considered. So remaining 3 electrons are there in pi orbitals. Those are separately represented. And those pi orbitals will interact with the pi orbitals from what? The carbon to produce bonding pi orbital, that's a 1 pi set, and anti-bonding pi orbital. From oxygen, the lowest orbital, here we are finding spa. It has a lone pair and it has no suitable orbital to interact from carbon. So it will remain non-bonding. It is the explanation given by Coulson. Hybridization model, in order to explain the bonding, it is adopted. Now come to the orbitals of carbon. As was the case for oxygen, in carbon also sp hybridization takes place. So which orbitals will be involved? 2s orbital as usual. And out of 2p orbitals, which orbital? Yes, 2px orbital will be involved to produce two hybrid orbitals, spa and spb. Out of those two, the orbital which is near to 2s orbital is of low energy and orbital near to 2p orbital is of higher energy. And I said already, purpose of hybridization is bond formation. So electronic arrangement will be in such a way bond formation is convenient. To this sp orbital, oxygen has sp orbital, that is spb orbital, which has an electron. So here forget about the Bohr principle. Electron will be in spa orbital of carbon. For what purpose? To form sigma bond. So you will understand the formation of bonding orbital, sigma bonding orbital, 4 sigma, and anti-bonding orbital, 6 sigma star. Here two electrons are there, one from carbon, one from oxygen, and both electrons will enter in bonding sigma orbital, that is 4 sigma orbital. In true sense, you can collect all electrons and then also you can what? Distribute. Answer will be the same. A higher orbital of the carbon, that is sp(b) orbital, it is with lone pair and it has no suitable orbital to interact, therefore it will remain non-bonding and I represented it as 5 sigma. Just pay attention towards the energy of that 5 sigma. It is little higher than the 2p orbitals of oxygen. So what we were considering, energy for the outermost orbital is little higher than the energy of 2p orbital of oxygen. So that point is valid here. MO diagram is explaining that quite well. Okay, let us proceed further. The pi orbitals are there in carbon and in those pi orbitals only one electron. But molecular orbital theory wants symmetry. So interaction between pi orbitals of carbon and pi orbitals of oxygen to produce bonding 1 pi orbital and anti-bonding 2 pi star orbital will take place. Total how many electrons are there in pi orbitals? 1 from carbon and 3 from oxygen. So 4 electrons. And all those 4 electrons will enter in 1 pi set of 2 orbitals. Now pay attention towards weightage of atom. Which atom contributes more to which orbital? 3 sigma orbital solely belongs to oxygen. But of course it is in the molecule. 4 sigma orbital, it is near to the oxygen orbitals. So oxygen has more contribution. 1 pi orbital, again oxygen is near to the 1 pi orbital, or orbitals of oxygen are near to the 1 pi orbital. So there also contribution of the oxygen will be more. Come to 5 sigma orbital, it is from carbon. So carbon is controlling that 5 sigma orbital. So here first time we are getting more contribution of the carbon. Come to anti-bonding orbitals 2 pi star. Here more contribution will be there of the carbon. And again 6 sigma star, more contribution will be there. So from non-bonding 5 sigma orbital onwards, higher energy orbitals, there more weightage, more contribution will be from carbon. This point is very important to explain the bonding of carbon monoxide. Now between carbon and oxygen 3 bonds are there, then those 3 bonds will be due to which orbitals? 4 sigma and 1 pi. 2 electrons in 4 sigma, they will give 1 bond, that's the sigma bond, and 4 electrons are there in 1 pi, those are responsible for 2 pi bonds. Specialty of this diagram is 5 sigma orbital, which is the highest energy orbital and it is non-bonding, so it is freely available. Who is contributing that non-bonding orbital? Carbon. Therefore, carbon can donate the lone pair. It's a specialty of this diagram. And that was not explained by our simple approach. Therefore, we came to this diagram. Let us see other aspects which are explained by this MO diagram. Electronic configuration for carbon monoxide is represented here. 1 sigma orbital, which is a non-bonding orbital. It is from which atom? Oxygen, it has 2 electrons. 2 sigma orbital, it is from carbon. It has how many electrons? 2 electrons. 2 sigma orbital means which orbital of carbon? Oneness orbital of carbon. 3 sigma orbital, it is again non-bonding orbital. It is because of the spa hybrid orbital of oxygen. 4 sigma 2 orbital, first bonding orbital, 2 electrons are there. 1 pi orbital, bonding orbitals, 4 electrons are there. 5 sigma orbital, non-bonding orbital due to sp hybrid orbital of carbon, 2 electrons are there. 2 pi star, antibonding pi orbital, it is no electrons. 6 sigma star, antibonding sigma orbital, no electrons. So bond order means what? Number of electrons in bonding orbitals minus number of electrons in antibonding orbitals. So total how many electrons are there in bonding orbitals? In 4 sigma, 2 electrons are there. In 1 pi, 4 electrons are there. So total electrons are 6. And how many are there in antibonding orbital? 0. 6 minus 0 divided by 2. Answer is 3. Same bond order we got in the simple MO diagram, but calculations are different. Answer may be the same. About magnetic property, since all electrons in molecular orbitals are paired or there is a no availability of unpaired electron, carbon monoxide will be dimagnetic. So magnetic property also explained by this MO diagram. Are you following? Now let us know the importance of this diagram. 5 sigma orbital which has 2 electrons and it is a non-bonding orbital, means those 2 electrons work as a lone pair. Those are near to carbon. Those belong to carbon. Therefore, carbon can donate lone pair to metal ion because of those electrons. Last time we could not explain that because all outer electrons were involved in the bonding. Now, the 5 sigma orbital electrons which are not involved in the bonding during formation of carbon monoxide can be used to form coordinate bond to the metal ion. Therefore, ligand tendency of carbon monoxide can properly explain. But carbon monoxide is with speciality. In addition to sigma dative bond, it forms pi bond. It is a pi acceptor ligand, means through pi bonding, through lateral overlap, it can receive the electrons from metal ion. Antibonding 2 pi star orbitals are there. Those are vacant, those can overlap. And to whom they belong more? They belong more to carbon. Since lone pair of electron from carbon is given, carbon is willing to take the electrons from metal ion. It is a synergic kind of bonding. It is only and only possible because of availability of antibonding orbitals which belong more to carbon, who is a donor of lone pair. So different property for carbon monoxide by which we were surprised. Carbon, though it is not more electronegative, it is giving the lone pair. Is quite well explained by Coulson's approach, hybridized approach for two molecular orbital theory. As a homework, two questions are for you. In this presentation, I mentioned bond lengths of carbon monoxide and ionized carbon monoxide. Just you have to mention those values in the comment box. And second question, what are the information I provide about the bond lengths? What do you think? Removal of electron from carbon monoxide to obtain CO plus should occur from bonding or anti-bonding or non-bonding orbital. Means outermost electron is present in bonding Antibonding or non-bonding orbital? In perspective of what? Ionization of CO. What is your view? That I am what asking. What is your expectation? That is expected answer for question number 2. That also you have to mention in comment box. So one of the limitation of previous diagram is explained by Coulson. But it is a modification, it is a theoretical postulation that he did. Considering hybridization, he explained. But still one question remains. If I remove the electron from carbon monoxide, then bond order will not change. So bond length should not change. But what is found? In true sense, bond length decreases. Means indirectly bond order increases. That property is not explained by Coulson diagram. For that, a real, true approach, considering symmetric applications, is to what? Study. That we'll study in next part.